Moving is one of life's most stressful experiences. Assume you have to relocate to another city. You have to pack your belongings, say goodbye to your friends, and sell whatever you don't need, as well as relocate to an unfamiliar city full of unusual people to begin a new life. Doesn't that sound extremely stressful? Now imagine yourself in the shoes of an NBA player. He is traded to a new team and must relocate to their city. He must bid farewell to his teammates and relocate his family to a different city. New teammates, locker rooms, and pals will replace the old ones. The most difficult portion is still to come. He'll be given a tour of the arena, locker rooms, and gym once he's settled in. Then the assistant coach will enter, carrying a book the size of a man's leg. This is the dreaded playbook, which contains hundreds of different plays. It will include every offensive and defensive tactic that a player in his position should be aware of for as long as he's a member of the squad. Before summer camp, the assistant coach would have him memorize all of the plays. Sure stuff, coach. No problem. The next step is to establish rapport. In most circumstances, the athlete will not know many of his new teammates directly, with the exception of those he meets through multi-team tournaments like the All-Star Weekend. He may have played against some of them, have ego issues with some of them, or simply despise some of them, but he has to put all of that aside and focus on getting ready for the next game. Some players, on the other hand, do this on a regular basis. They're traded so frequently that getting traded is as much a part of their offseason as going on vacation or spending time with their children. This article examines the 5 most traded players in NBA history. Please keep in mind that if a player signs with a new team while still in free agency, this will not be considered a trade. As a result, the total number of teams he's played for will not match the number of transactions he's been a part of. In the number 5 spot, we have Otis Thorpe. If there ever was no nonsense on a hardworking player, this is it. Thorpe wasn't just a mediocre player who was dealt with because no team wanted him. During his 17-year NBA career, he scored 17,600 points. He was a key member of the Rockets' championship-winning team in '94. He also retains the Rockets' all-time field goal efficiency record of 55.9%. He has a total of 7 trades throughout his career. Throughout his career, he was a part of several franchise-altering moves. When Thorpe left for Portland in '95, Houston brought in the famous Clyde Drexler, who helped them win their second consecutive title. Thorpe was traded to the Pistons, to the Grizzlies, in a fairly minor move for a first-round pick in '97. That pick would go on to be one of the most famous in history. Because of the Grizzlies' inefficiency, it was just the number 2 selection in 2003, which Detroit used on Darko Milicic. In the number 4 spot, we have Joe Smith, the only number 1 pick on this list. Despite the promising start, Smith's career was only as ordinary as best. It only goes to show no matter how high a player starts in his career, which counts most in what he accomplishes with before sailing off into the sunset. In his career, he has completed 7 deals. Smith was glaringly absent from any major trades during his 15-year NBA career, despite being one of the top 5 most traded players in NBA history. The moment well known are perhaps the 2 transactions in which he helped assemble a team around LeBron James in Cleveland. In 2008, he was traded to Cleveland as part of a 3-man transaction that included Wally Szczerbiak, Delonte West, and Ben Wallace. He left for the next summer in much in the same way he came in a 3-man team that brought Mo Williams to Cleveland. In the number 3 spot, we have Don McLean. McLean was the 19th overall selection of the 1992 NBA draft. When he tested positive for steroid use in 2000, he had the dubious distinction of being the NBA's first player to be suspended for using performance-enhancing substances. Throughout his career, he has been traded 8 times. Except for a 3-man team, a 10-player trade in August of 1999 that sent Steve Francis to the Houston Rockets, most of McLean's transactions were small. He was also engaged in one more transaction near the end of his career, which involved the next player on this list, Billy Owens. In the number 2 spot, we have Billy Owens. Owens, a 3rd-round pick in 1991, was yet another talented player who failed to live up to his expectations and was subsequently bounced around the NBA until he ultimately retired. He made a remarkable 8 moves in his career. Owens was not traded for the majority of his career. However, in one 14-month period, he was exchanged a whopping 5 times. And finally, in the number 1 spot, we have Chris Gatling. One of the players I believe most clubs would have had on their roster at some point throughout the 90s was Chris Gatling. He was only exchanged 8 times for the amount of interest he attracted. He also had a total of 8 trades in his career. Alright guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.